I told Ellen she bought too much champagne. She said it'll all be gone. Make Ellen right and not me. Let me start very briefly because it was only a little over 3 years ago that a few of us who are here today were here for the dedication of this museum. The museum, very briefly, was a dream that started in my head about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I came to this city. It was 7 years ago that I came the first time and fell in love with it. Can never figure out why, except the love gets more intense. During one of those visits afterwards, I walked up, well, it wasn't quite the stairway that we have now.
That's the Aliyah step.
The Aliyah stairway that Sonia told me I had to build, and we built that just this year, along with the fountain and many other things. What I did was, when it was time to build, when I knew my life's dream, after the Statue of Liberty, I wanted to make a museum in Israel all on the Bible, the Torah, from the days of creation through the prophets, from Jewish eyes. Every time we open a book and we talk about Moshe Rabbeinu, who's there? Michelangelo's Moshe Rabbeinu. We look about King David and who is doing David, but Rembrandt. There weren't enough, with all the great Jewish artists, the Bible has not been the focus, and I wanted to do it. But you can't do everything by yourself. I found Tzfat because God brought me here, but it took other people to make this happen. When I was thinking about the museum, your mind, first of all, if you don't live in Israel, goes to Yerushalayim, to Jerusalem. But I told a group of people that it was Tzfat that I wanted to be at. They tell us about Tzfat, and I did. A friend came from America very unexpectedly and told me an exciting thing had happened. A new mayor had come into Tzfat from a family that had been here for years, and he had crazy visions, though. He dreamed of Tzfat with a midrachov like, Tel Aviv. That's crazy, that with cafes. He talked about a community center where we would have movies and concerts, but that's crazy. And new factories, and a beautiful new building in the middle of Tzfat. I said, I like this man already. This is someone who sees the way I see. There was no midrachov, there were very few cafes, we didn't have a Galilan. Everything has happened. It grew. But there was something else missing too. I needed people to help me make this dream come true. Many people have come to help build the museum and the children's program, which is now one of the things that we're the most proud of. Children are here every week, many of them, to study the Torah through art, and everything is given to them. There is no fee, the teacher, the artwork. Many people I asked to help me helped me. One lady called me and said, why didn't you ask me to be involved? I want to be part of this. The only one who ever did that, her name is Sonia, who has become so close to us I can't express it. So to let you hear a few words from these two people that helped me make this happen, along with many others here, I'd ask the mayor to say a few words to you, Zev Pearl, and then for Sonia to greet the group, and then we will unveil the new project that I'll talk 2 seconds about after everyone else. Mayor Zev Pearl, please.
I didn't prepare any speech, but after I heard what Philip said, I understand I made a mistake when I let him to do what he did. The mistake is that I didn't give you enough.
Nice going, sir.
I welcome everyone from abroad who came to us. Usually people are coming to Jerusalem or to Tel Aviv. Usually people who donate something want the flag very near to Hilton. Hilton Tel Aviv or Hilton Jerusalem. But when I see people who are giving and helping us, the capital of the Galilee, I feel happy. And I think that we are going ahead with the developing of the town, and what we can give to Israel or to the Jewish people or all the world is something like city of art, city of mysticism, city of the Bible. And I hope that with people like Philip and Helen, we shall be able to do those dreams come true. And I want to thank all of you for what you did and for you coming today here. and especially Sonia. We met, I think, on May 85, and I understood immediately that we are somehow partners. And I remember, I cannot forget, I told her that we have the schemes for building our culture center. And there was a little bit discussion. Sonia told me, do it some bigger, do it in another way. And when she came here back on the summer, she said the same, but we decided to do it. And I'm happy we did it, Sonia.
Okay,
because it's not Hichal HaTarbut, but it made a revolution in the cultural life of the city.
Wonderful.
And I'm sure that what you did here and all of the Perlmutter family is a revolution of the cultural and artistic life of Israel and Safad. And I want to thank everybody for coming, for helping, and let's hope that this project will develop and will be one of the central projects of Israel. Thank you. And all our guests will get today the signal of the city, which is not given to everybody, to everyone who comes to Safad, only to our guests, and everyone will get it. אורית?
אני רוצה לומר.
יש סדר יום, הגברת סוניה.
You're on next. Let me take the glass.
Sonia?
You all know
Stand
me?
on the stage.
Introduce Sonia to people who don't know her.
Oh, for anyone here, excuse me, to all my friends from Tzfat, Sonia is the lady that came into Ellen's and my life. We had never met before. It's been 4 years ago, I guess, and who has worked along with us every step of the way, has been here every year, at least once or twice a year, to watch the museum, to make sure the steps were done right, to make sure the gates work, to check that everything is done in a proper manner. We love her passionately, and it was...
She's a pain in the ass.
Well, that's for sure, but I wasn't going to say that publicly. And because of Sonia, the family is here today to dedicate these gates, which again, I repeat...
Not entirely. And
Not
so,
en-
No, not entirely. I think that Jordan, my cousin Jordan, is certainly as responsible as I am for the family being here. And I'd like to recognize Jordan for his efforts on behalf of and certainly Ellen has played a part in this. Ellen the Beautiful. And all of you, I want to thank everyone who came, because I think, well, in my life, the things that I regret most are those things that I have not done, that I have failed to do. Those things that I have done, I've not regretted by and large. And I hope that each and every one of you who came today will feel the same way. This is an occasion for us to not regret, to be pleased that we came and did it and participated. So I thank you all for coming. I thank Philip the artist for making it all possible, because without him, none of this would be.
Now, make a large circle around the gates.
Wait a minute, Aviv
What?
wanted to say something.
Wonderful!
Aviv.
At the gate. At the gate.
At the gates, yes.
At the gate.
He was also our dad, who, and I found out in the Bible there's a passage about Pinchas, the priest of peace. To us children who knew him so well, his two sons and 2 daughters, of course grandchildren, he was also personified as a symbol of peace. He was a visionary, seeing the future at all times, very humankind, always not self-centered at all, always worrying about the next people, the next person, and always thinking that if we could be generous in charity and giving and thinking of other people, it would naturally bring peace. And to us, it meant everything to have our dad. And to us, it's the greatest legacy to think that our dad, who was the greatest person in the world to us, was a lover of peace for Israel and the whole world.